and welcome back to Saber Outdoors. My name, of course, is Mark Alexander, your wonderful host. And guys, if you can't tell, I will let you know we are at the range. Today is the day. I know my gun shooting people have been wanting a gun shooting video for a little while. I'm focusing on fishing at the moment because, you know, it's kind of the thing to do during this time of year. But I did not want to leave Awesome August without having at least one where I shoot a gun. And I'm going to shoot not only a gun, but also I'm going to do some crossbow shooting today. Guys, this is a Jackal Crossbow, and that's all I know about it. Guys, I have not shot a crossbow in many years, and I can count on probably, I won't have to take my shoes off to count how many times I've shot a crossbow, but at least not a big crossbow like this. I've shot toy crossbows, of course. But, guys, these are supposed to be some really bad things for deer hunting. I've seen people hunt elk with these. I've seen people do stuff with a crossbow that I would not want to try with a gun. But, guys, a lot of people will say, well, you got a crossbow, it's just as good as a gun. Well, we're going to test that out today because we're doing a penetration test with this particular crossbow. I believe this shoots 380 feet per second. Okay. It says on the bottom what make it is. So this is the Barnett Jackal. So guys, if you want to look up the Barnett Jackal, I'll put a link down in the description below if you want to see like the feet per second, the this, the that, the everything. And guys, what we're going to shoot against, we're going to shoot it against one of our old reliables. We're going to shoot it against this this Ruger 1022. Guys, a 22 doesn't get the respect that it should. This flies, I guarantee, at least twice, if not 3 times as fast as that bow will be flying. But the question is, will this bullet trying to push its way through penetrate as well as a crossbow will? I'm going to shoot field points and broadheads at each of our targets. But, you know, the first thing I want to do, I haven't shot a crossbow in many years. I want to shoot this crossbow. I have my target already set up. So let me get my arrows out and we'll see if I can hit anything with this. Alright guys, so to cock this thing, in order to get it to go, there's no way I have enough force to pull up on this. This has a foot bar that I can stick my foot through. And then I have this helper right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put these, first off I'm going to try not to drop this thing. I'm going to put these pieces on this string here. There's one. And would you look at that? The other one's too short. Well, guys, uno momento while we figure this out. Oh, okay. Guys, for this particular one, you don't put it over the stock. You're putting it over this right here. So, crisis averted. And I tell you, it was. I was like, I have worked all this time, and I'm going to end up not being able to film this. Now we have our 2 handles. Now it is on safe. And you heard it click in. She's ready to fire. It is dangerous at this moment. We're going to set this to one side. We're going to double check everything before we do anything. I'm going to turn my sight on. I'm going to put an arrow or a bolt into this. And we're going to see how it shoots. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick the safety off. There's already a bolt in it. I'm going to see if I can hit that center square of that particular target. Now, if you are doing this for the first time, get a crossbow specific target because a crossbow is way more powerful than a regular, you know, longbow. But, guys, we're going to flick safety on this. And I'm going to hope that it doesn't blow up in my hands because I really don't trust this thing at this moment. But we're on fire. We're going to get our sight on. Boy, she shoots way higher than I expected. But she shoots way into that target. Guys, I'm going to get this thing pulled back up. I'm going to shoot again. All right, guys, let's go see how deep these are in, because they're all over the place because this shoots really high for me. And that's probably because it's set for 50, 60 yards. But let's go see how deep these are in. Now, boys, that's an extra tough one of these. And let's see if I may not be able to pull these out. Oh. So, guys, they were in there that much. This is a very powerful thing. Now, the tips of these arrows are a mite loose now, so I will have to remember to put them back together. But, oh my goodness, is that hard. Oh. All right, guys. So, we've done our test fire. Let's get us an actual thing to shoot at. All right, guys, so first thing we're going to shoot at, this is a container of dirt. Guys, I'm using the same container for all of our different media that I'm shooting through. And guys, I will shoot it with a field tip, and this is a 100 grain broadhead as well. I'm going to shoot that once. I'm going to turn it sideways, shoot it again, and then we're going to move the target out of the way, take our arrows out, and we're going to shoot it with the gun and see how it stands up compared to crossbow. Incoming. Guys, I thought this would be more of a competition, but it ain't looking so good by our first shots. I'm gonna see if I can get these out of my block, out of this. I'm gonna turn it sideways, and I'm gonna shoot it with the 22. Oh, you better have some Gorilla Grip for these things. Now, rather than try and whoop and whirl and carry on, I'm going to get my tool, and I'm going to unscrew this so this arrow will come through easy. Alright, guys, now we're going to set it like this. We're going to move our target. We're going to shoot it with our 22 rifle. Something like this. Appears like I can hit something with it. Alright, guys, so let's look at our entries and our exits for both of our things. So right there, of course, is our broadhead, our field tip, and on the back side, very clean exits. Now, for our 22s, they both kind of just punched a hole in here and broke it through, but they did get through. The exits are very nice, clean, round holes. But, guys, I will be very honest, I did not expect the dirt to stop either of our weapons today. I really thought that our crossbow might have a little trouble with it, but it looks like it's just going to bulldog its way through. Although you saw about the same amount was sticking out of our dirt as it was sticking out of our target. So there was resistance whenever we shot this. But guys, let's get our next target up there and let's talk about it a moment. I'm going to move you all a little closer in because I think I can shoot this without shooting you now. But guys, our next thing we're shooting at sand. There's an old wives' tale, an old, maybe we should call it an old huntsman's tale, that an arrow will shoot through this a lot better than a bullet will come through this, simply because the arrow is cutting its way through rather than the bullet where it's forcing its way through. But guys, let's put 2 into it, and then let's try our rifle out. All right, guys, so before I even pull this out, this is way more resistance that I got with sand than I did with plain old dirt. Now, these did butt up against each other, but thankfully didn't cut my fletching, so yay me. We're gonna see if we can get these out. Boys, I bought me a puller. I'm gonna need it for this. Got me an arrow puller. That barely was in there. So guys, I'm gonna take this where I can get it out, and I'm gonna let my neighbor shoot a minute. We'll be back after these messages. Hey guys, I don't mean to break into your video, but I wanted to let you know that down in the description right now, there is a link to Saber Outdoors merchandise. Guys, if you want that merchandise for as cheap as it will ever be, you need to go ahead and get that merchandise before the end of the year, guys. I have made it as cheap as I can possibly make it. I'm making nothing off of this. This is merely for you to show some support for me. But guys, back to the video. All right, guys, I am losing a ton of sand. I've got to shoot this thing fast. So, uno momento, and I'm going to shoot it fast. You can watch the difference in how much sand's come out and see how long it's been. You can see the sands of time falling. Let's go back to the bench and talk about this a moment. All right, guys, so we have our target here, and it is still actively spilling sand out. So we're going to talk about this. Now, I was surprised that the field point made it through into our target. I will say that the broadhead only just barely made it to our target. So, guys, maybe the old wives' tale's true, maybe not. Let's see how the 22 did. So we have some very obvious holes in, but no holes out. So guys, somewhere in this, we have caught those 22 bullets. So guys, old wives' tale's true. Old hunter's tale is true. Bullets do not go through sand like arrows do. Now, I don't know how this would stand up with a compound bow, but with a crossbow, it'll get through better than a 22. Now, we might test that one fine day. If you tell me in the comments you want to see it, we'll put it to the test one of these old days. But for right now, I'm going to get my next shot set up. All right, guys, for our next target, it is literal gravel. Guys, we're going to try and shoot through this. I expect nothing to make it through, and I do expect to break my arrows, bolts, whatever you want to call them. But guys, I had to test it to the extreme. Tell me in the comments, you think it's going to get through? If it gets through, you need to get me a membership to this channel. But we're going to leave it there, and let's break some stuff. I don't think that one went through. Well, let's see if either one made it. Yes, this one did. That one got close, but this one's actually in the target. But not unscathed. Guys, that broadhead's all to pieces. Let me get it off there. And guys, I'm going to put it sideways and put 222 rounds in it and see how it does. All right, guys, so we have our rocks here. And guys, there are some definite results. So, of course, all of our things went in. So our first crossbow bolt just barely penetrated the other side. Now, our second one, if you can see, all three going in, but only two coming out, which means probably our other one of these is stuck in our target out there. Now, how did the rifle fare in its own right? There's our two entry holes. No exits. So, guys, again, we caught our 22 rifle rounds. Even though they are smaller, faster, they don't have the penetrating power of a good crossbow. We're learning a lot today, in my opinion. But guys, we have one more thing to shoot. All right, guys, the last thing we're going to shoot a 4-pound thing of peanut butter, because that's what all these jars ended up starting life as. They were peanut butter jars. But guys, let's see how peanut butter stands up compared to our other materials. And I only have one bolt left because I I do not trust those other two not to be broken, and that's all I need is a face full of fiberglass or carbon or whatever these things are made out of. So guys, we're going to shoot one broadhead into peanut butter, and then we're going to shoot our clip out of our 22. All right, guys, this is less resistance than any of our others because it sunk plumb up to the fletching. This is going to be a bit of a job to get back out, but uno momento while I try. It's not terribly clean, but we'll move that off to one side. Let's get our broadhead off. Guys, our broadhead's covered in peanut butter. I think it would leave a blood trail for me. But guys, let's shoot it with our 22, see how that does. Oh, Lord. Guys, my lid's gone. That was unexpected. I don't know why my broadhead was still here, but it was. But, guys, so much for leaving here with a clean table. Let me clean up, and then we'll get over to the bench and talk. All right, guys, so there's not a whole lot to say about peanut butter. It really made absolutely no difference. And you saw the difference between a cutting broadhead, and a bullet that, boom, tries to force its way through. This peanut butter just erupted as soon as we shot it with a 22. But, guys, I don't think there was any doubt that a 22 was going to get through peanut butter. So I'm going to put this down because it is everywhere. Put that down. Look at my hands covered in peanut butter. But guys, you know, I think we can come up with some summations. Is a crossbow better than a 22? Yes. For penetration, I would say yes it is. Our crossbow is definitely not a top-of-the-line $1,000, $1,500 crossbow. Guys, it's something you all could probably pick up for reasonably cheap, probably $500 if I were a betting man just sitting here. But guys, when it came to dirt was more resistant than I expected, but it was not as resistant as, let me find a safe place to put this, doesn't have peanut butter or sand or something. Let me just lay it in my lap. But it was not as resistant as sand. Sand was our first thing to stop our 22 bullets, but both of our crossbow bolts made it through. Now with rocks, our crossbow broadhead made it through, but not undamaged. It definitely took some damage, and our 22 bullets didn't make it through, and everything. But guys, you saw what happened to the peanut butter. I'm not going to rehash that. All I'm going to say is, you know, do the usual YouTube things. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the bell notification, subscribe, guys. Subscribing is the freest thing you can do. It doesn't cost you anything but time, and I'll be in your feed whenever I post, which Awesome August is about to end, so I'm going to go back to my Friday post when we hit September. But for right now, we're still going to be trucking along on our Awesome August train. So, guys, if you want to support me even more, $5 for memberships, you can see what's happening in September right now with a membership. But, guys, thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you somewhere in the woods or on the water.